Did you know that the Prime Vandal used to look like this? Or that Raze had 2 grenades and all buffed abilities? Well, today we're covering 27 Valorant things I guarantee you didn't know. Before the release of Valorant, the ranking system used to look like this. There was Mercenary, Soldier, Veteran, Hero, Legend, and Mythic. What's really weird though is that Radiant just used to be called Valorant. What do you guys prefer? Let us know in the comments. Many people believe this leaked character was an agent that got rejected by Valorant. However, who the agent Shatter really is just the early stages of our beloved Phoenix. It's believed that he had this clone ability, which is probably the inspiration for his ultimate. Speaking of Phoenix, did you know that Phoenix and Gecko both share a common interest of trainers? Yoru collects knives, Cypher likes chess, and Omen likes to knit.
Hey Omen, I respect a guy who knits. It's pretty cute.
It helps me focus. Oh, what do you care?
What you're looking at is the Imperium collection. This collection no longer exists in the game and was only available in the beta version of Valorant. There's also the Ronin collection that looks like this, which is made up of a nice red, black and gold. To be honest, these would be amazing for some Battle Pass skins. These are the old Prime Vandal designs. There are 6 that look absolutely amazing, but only 3 made it into the game with some minor adjustments. The regular Prime looks so much cooler in my opinion with the checkered black and white squares. Hopefully they'll chuck these throwback variants back into the game someday. The Riot Gun Buddy is the rarest gun buddy in the game, coming in at a 0.001% chance of ever being seen. But did you know this gun buddy can be sold for over $2,000? This is because Riot employees can only just give 10 out. They're given for good sportsmanship and only when they feel like it.
I sent you a gift and your gun buddies enjoy. No way. Oh my. I love you. I love you, Melody.
Neon is a very similar character model to Zeri from League of Legends. They both have electric powers and both represent positive and negative charges, which is a very nice touch for probably just laziness. I bet you didn't know that there's a secret Easter egg written on Sky's hand. The numbers correspond to the position of letters in the alphabet. They spell out plant, which is a nice gesture from Riot to signify Sky's relationship with nature. If you ever think some characters are OP today, you clearly didn't witness Raze in the beta. She didn't have 1 but 2 grenades. She also had increased damage on her satchels, boombot, and her ultimate. I actually can't comprehend how broken she was, but it must have been extremely fun to play. At one point in time, Cypher was seen in the practice range leaning against the wall like a cowboy. Fade is seen looking at the wall with Killjoy's bot, and Brimstone is in his office twiddling his thumbs. Early into Valorant's lifespan, Jett was one of the most picked agents. She had 3 smokes, they all lasted 7 seconds, and she could E whenever she wanted. But right-click kills with her ultimate also resets her knives. But more than that, every knife would do 50 damage no matter where it's thrown on the body. Talk about just downright broken. Speaking of the early game developments, you may have noticed that all the boxes on each map used to be the color orange. This is actually a mistake by Riot Games. The orange boxes represent the fake duplicated world, hence why they switched them to green boxes. However, the orange boxes can still be found on the map like Pearl. On Icebox release, there used to be this samurai armor nicely placed on display on A site. No one knew what it was until Yoru was released. After the agent dropped, the mask of the samurai had been stolen. Can you guess who took it? Yep, it was Yoru, and probably for good reason, since in the lore, he's the only person that can control the almighty power of the samurai mask. Omen is quite a mysterious character when it comes to identifying who he really is, but what we do know is that some of his voice lines actually originate from the Bible.
I am the beginning. I am the end. It is finished.
Relationships between characters is something that is very important for the Valorant lore. You probably know that Raze and Killjoy are actually a couple, but did you know that Brimstone and KO are actually best friends? KO fights alongside him in his reveal trailer, and both their tier 9 agent player cards show them carrying someone in their arms. Speaking of KO, have you ever wondered what his name actually stands for? It stands for Kingdom Anti-Yield Operative, the organization that is widely reflected around each Valorant map, designed perfectly for the defensive protectors of the lore. But to be honest, I think
Kill all your opponents
is much better. Have you ever tried putting your finger on Raze's voice? The voice actor is actually Carolina Ravassa. She voices the hero Sombra in Overwatch and many more games that you've probably already played. There's also Brimstone, who is Steve Blum. He voiced the character of Tank Dempsey in the Call of Duty Zombies franchise.
Good to see you, Tank.
I knew those voices from somewhere. Joy. Did you know this was actually a mistake? Yep, Joy was a meme created purely because of a glitch where Killjoy's old calling card made her face look extremely wide. Riot removed the glitch but was heartfelt by their love for the new Joy memes, so they added their own Joy player card. Reyna is the only agent that has more than one voice line for getting an ace. It's like they created the character to be OP on release, not with 2 but 4 charges of her E and her Q. She was so broken that she was actually level with Jet with a 65% pick rate among most ranks. Sova seems to be one of the most trustworthy characters in the Valorant lore, but in Cypher's interaction with him, he says this.
Sova, I accessed your background file. Good story. But that's not really how you lost your eye.
Revealing that Cypher has knowledge on Sova's real story of why he lost an eye in the first place. Is he hiding something from us? Let us know what you think. Did you know that when Killjoy was being developed, she was actually going to be a male agent? Then they swapped the idea of her to be a robot. But then they realized there was actually just not enough female agents, so they added her as a female instead. Did you know that Jet used to work as a chef in a restaurant and she actually blew the whole place down with a tornado? Kinda similar to how Phoenix was suspended from school because he set a building on fire. This was early stages of development for the character Breach. He wore a brown jacket, black arms, blonde hair and a mask. We clearly all prefer the Breach today, but this would have been a really cool version of Breach that could have came out. There are 2 types of Valorant agents, Radiants who have supernatural abilities, and humans who just use Radianite powered technology. To be honest, I don't know how I never saw this before, but characters like Killjoy and Raze are just technology based characters. Compare this to the supernatural like Astra, you can really see the difference.